Good afternoon to those who listen. It is November 17th, 2025, 3:48 p.m. And this is The Simpsons. Predictive programming, hidden messages. This is from season 37, episode 7, Sashes to Sashes. And they start out, I'm going to have to either do a short version of the whole thing or divide this into parts because it's so long. There's so many things. All right, so in the very beginning,
Come on now, Alice, that's a bit much. Alice?
Alice Glick dies, and she was a relative to, she's like rarely ever seen in episodes, but she's a relative of Mayor Quimby, of the Quimbys. So this whole thing is about the Quimbys and how they have been the mayor or been in politics for over 100 years. And I didn't know Springfield it was over 100 years old. But anyway, so Quimby came from, the name wasn't Quimby either. It was, I forgot what it was, but we'll see what it is. And he's changed his name to Quimby. He was from Quimby, Ireland. But then he, I guess they changed his name to Quimby at that point. So that's where we meet the grandson of the first Quimby, I guess. And he's going into politics to be the class president.
My name is Joe Quimby the Third.
Joe Quimby. So that's what it was. It was Joe Quimby, but it was, we'll see coming up. I know it starts with an S, but you're going to be amazed at some of the stuff that's in here. So I think this is predicting some of the stuff. I think since Quimby was the mayor of Springfield, they're trying to compare, or they're not compare, but some kind of a hidden message. And please, help me with this because I'm not sure on everything, but this is what I'm getting out of it so far. That it's about the mayor of New York and about a political figure who is the grandson of JFK. Wow. So, wait till you see this. This is just, there's no way you can say it's not that because of the names that you'll see in here. It's just way too weird of a coincidence. So Lisa was upset about this kid trying to run for president because they were going to take the Mrs. Glick's money that she gave to the school and put it into some big 3-day music festival, and Lisa wanted it to be for the music program for years and years to come. Anyway, this Quimby kid, the original, came from Quimby, Ireland. Oh, and they had to make sure that they said 100 years ago. So the kid takes off with a turnip, and the whole family is after him. No, don't start over. Don't start over.
Joe has the real turnip.
Even the ducks are chasing him. So he gets on a boat and goes to the United States, and that's supposed to be like a Statue of Liberty, but, with the lard boy. So here's his real name here, O'Shaughnessy. But they just, from Quimby, Ireland, but they just give him his name as Joe Quimby. So that's when his name changed.
O'Shaughnessy from Quimby, Ireland. Never seen an apostrophe in a name before. Must be a typo. Welcome to America, Joe Quimby.
And then they show the date of 1921. So this was the first Quimby that made it to Springfield. And then they go back into Joe Quimby the Third, his grandson, This is so deep, it's unbelievable. Here's where some of the words start coming in.
He's in that boy, and you should see his pulling.
Whoops. All right, here's some of the words now.
All the demos, bullies, nerds, twinks, by which I mean kids who like Twinkies.
So I have to get my
So Lisa was going to go try to be the class president, run for class president, but then this kid says that she would never make it. So they suggest Bart run because the kids would relate more to Bart than to her. Okay, so now they go to Slobtown neighborhood in Springfield from 1929, and this guy that just came over to America is working, sorting through the, I guess, manure, to be a nice word for it. But here's where the words start. Now here's where I want everybody to pay attention to these words, because some of these, there's a couple words that don't exist, that are made up. And some of the words are really old English words that I think might be changed in the future. And then some of these words that are here that aren't there, that aren't in the dictionary now, might be in future editions.
Do we really want to spend the rest of our days scavenging through horse leavings for coins and buttons?
Fuck up, Joe. Being a duck.
There we go. So this word right here, let me get it clearer. Dunglark. That does not exist. So this is a word I want to see if it winds up coming up into the future. So I'm going to write down these words and research them. I've already researched them, but I'm going to have to put that in another video because it would take way too long to get through all of this. I want to get through this one first, and then we can break down all those other words later. Oh, and then he says gag economy instead of gig economy. All right.
Else for Iris? No Irish can be a foot post.
So we got foot post, which now some of these exist, but they're like old words from the beginning of the 20th century, in the 1900s, the early 1900s. Beetler Bodger. They're going through all the jobs that supposedly Springfield, the people wouldn't hire the Irish for. A coal heaver, a Garth man, a hello girl, a lob lolly boy, and then we got prop Bobby and shrimp shonger. And shrimp is spelled with SCH. Both of these words do not exist. And they have, well, maybe you mean this word instead when you look it up. So I got a feeling maybe these words might be suddenly added to the dictionary. Just throwing this in there, Spanucci, and he's the barrel king of Slobtown. Now they use barrels a lot in here. I'm not sure what the barrels are for or what it represents. So in this scene here, I'm going to mute these. I should have muted it from the beginning. But in this scene here, the Quimby guy, he decides to off the Barrel King guy. And then he plants a note in his pocket, and it's his will, and gives him all his money to him so he can start his own businesses. And I'm not sure if this is anything, but the Spinacci guy, Spinucci, was rigatoni. And that's when he had his last will and gave it all to Joe Quimby. And this would have been at the Great Depression time. And then he put his money into a movie studio, which is weird. Wasn't there somebody back in the day, like, I don't know, maybe The Great Gatsby or something, where somebody was really rich and had a movie studio while everybody else was suffering because it was everybody was so poor? This also could be maybe mentioning the fact, because this is how, and Lisa said history repeats itself. So I was thinking maybe there's going to be another Great Depression, is what they're saying here, and certain leaders, including presidents. Wait till you see what's coming up. Oh, it's so deep. Oh, and just one thing that I forgot to mention. For some reason, Donkey Kong. That might be some kind of a thing for the barrels, because they use Donkey Kong in the barrels. You know, Donkey Kong throws the barrels, and then Bart. They go back to present time, and then she's getting signs made up for Bart to be run for student council president, but he doesn't even want to do it. But I don't know. Look at this. Here's another thing. Look at the high score. 779,235. Is that anything? I don't even know if you could get that high of a score on Donkey Kong. Oh, I just noticed something else. Check this out. The calendar, if you can read it, says August. It doesn't come in very well, but you can see it's August. Oh, what's that? We got something around the moon. Let me get in for a closer look. So, something's landing, it looks like, on the moon. August. Wait a minute. There's JFK reference. Remember, he said we're going to get somebody on the moon by the end of the decade, 1969. Is this referring to August 1969? I'll have to check a calendar and see if the days. Why is there only 29 days in August? That's odd too. Then we got a cup with a mushroom cloud. This thing is just loaded. I'd noticed before the Frankenstein. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything. I know a new version of the Frankenstein just came out. Huh. So Bart decides he's going to run for president after all, and he says a cherry bomb in every toilet. So that made me think of a chicken in every pot, which was, I think, was that Hoover? I'll have to go back and look and see for sure. When he promised, and I think that was like the Republican thing, that they were promising new things, and that was in the 20s, I think, too. Let's go back and look at that. But again, that's some more hinting at predictive programming, like the similarities between that time and now, how the Republicans are trying to make everything better. And then, I don't know if this has anything to do with the bees. It's just for bees, for Skinner to get stung, I guess. I don't know, bees stinging? I'll have to see if that has anything to do with anything. And just so you see here, we are about a third of the way through this episode. So I'm going to make this into 3 parts. There is so much more coming it's even more shocking and wow. So please stay tuned. And if there's anything that you can help with, any symbolism, hidden messages that you can see that maybe means something, please let me know. Put it in the comments. And we'll end this part 1 right here. And we'll have to do 2 more parts to this because it's so big. And then I'll have to do another video breaking down each little part of this, because this, I've seen a lot of episodes where it's, there's predictive programming, but I've never seen like so much. Usually it's just little parts here and there, but this one seems to be like loaded throughout the whole episode. Thanks for watching. God bless.